Jackson from the creepy corner has been dealing with some pretty intense paranormal activity for the past month. At first, when the hauntings began, Jackson was terrified to even be in his own home, unsure what to expect next. But as the days went by, he grew accustomed to the strange occurrences, even if they unsettled him. However, just recently, the frequency and intensity of the paranormal events reached an all-time high. Jackson was starting to lose his patience, growing more frustrated with whatever entity or force thought it had the right to invade his space and mess with him. Now, I know this sounds a little extreme, but here's the thing. Despite weeks of relentless ghostly encounters, Jackson had never been able to capture a single instance on camera. That is, until now. The video you're about to see is the first piece of undeniable proof that he actually got on film.
I haven't been back here for not too long. Can you make the light shut off? So you fuckers think that this is fucking fake? You fuckers think that this is fake? Okay.
Jackson sent this video to his family group chat, hoping they would finally believe him. Unfortunately, they all just called him an attention-seeking faker, dismissing his claims completely. But, as you'll see, something strange happened. A candle, which was sitting calmly on the table, suddenly launched itself off and crashed to the floor. There were no strings, wires, or any other trickery involved. Jackson had his proof, and it was clear to everyone, including his skeptical family, that this was no fabrication. After this video, they stopped calling him a psychopath and started to consider that maybe, just maybe, something otherworldly was at play. Moving on, let me quickly introduce you to the next series of clips, featuring a creator many of you will recognize. His name is MacLeod, and if you've watched other videos on this channel, you've probably seen him before. In these clips, MacLeod is out on one of his regular ghost hunting missions, this time for a client who wanted their house cleansed of spirits. While investigating, MacLeod encounters an overwhelming amount of paranormal activity. Take a look at the first piece. A wardrobe inside the house begins to open and close by itself, making strange, eerie noises as if caught in the grip of an unseen force. MacLeod stands there, trying his best to avoid interfering with the spirits, determined to capture as much evidence as he can for his client. Eventually, the activity subsides, but not before MacLeod has managed to get enough footage to confirm that something truly paranormal is going on. Now, most ghost hunters would have stopped right there, claiming their payment and leaving the house, but not MacLeod. Despite already having enough evidence to get paid, he was fascinated by the spirit and felt the need to explore further. He wandered through the house for quite some time, eventually discovering a small, neglected room that seemed to have been untouched for months. MacLeod chuckled to himself at the state of the room, thinking that even if the house wasn't haunted, the owners had a major cleaning task ahead of them. Little did he know, the house was indeed haunted, and the next clip will prove it.
сторожит.
In this room, a small stool begins to move on its own, seemingly without any provocation. Mikhailo is taken aback, but what's even more unsettling is that there's no cold, oppressive atmosphere surrounding the room, something most people feel when a spirit is near. This lack of sensation remains a mystery that Mikhailo has yet to explain. After wrapping up this investigation, Mikhailo heads home, receiving his payment via wire transfer, but it doesn't take long for another job to come his way. His business phone rings unexpectedly, and Mikhailo is quick to answer, never ignoring a call that could lead to a lucrative deal. On the other end is a wealthy man named Sebastian, who is offering $5,000 to have his home cleansed of evil spirits. Naturally, Mikhailo agrees, and this is what he finds when he arrives.
Началось.
Similar to the last house, a closet begins to rock back and forth. This leads MacLeod to believe that both homes might share the same type of spirit, and if he can figure out how to get rid of one, he could potentially learn how to deal with both. Be sure to subscribe, because MacLeod's journey continues in my next video, and it's about to get even more intense. Let's shift gears a bit. In 2010, Donna Ayres became one of the most undeserving victims of paranormal activity ever. She was a kind, innocent woman who wanted nothing more than a peaceful life, with religious symbols and texts scattered throughout her home as a form of protection. Despite her best efforts to shield herself, it didn't stop the ghost of her ex-husband from haunting her. You see, Donna had been married to Scott, but their relationship had become unhealthy, and after years of struggle, she made the difficult decision to divorce him. But weeks before the divorce was finalized, Scott passed away. Some believe it was Scott's spirit that caused the events that unfolded next.
If you're there, please can you move on to the light? I've never been through this before, and I've never had any experiences like this. I've never been through this before, and I beg in the Lord's name, please, just leave me be, please. It's getting quite frightening now. I have a cross coming down my bloody wall. Oh, I need help. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do it. It's not listening to me. Why would it listen to me? Oh.
One day, the Holy Cross of Jesus Christ, which had been hanging peacefully on the wall, slowly began to slide down. Donna, horrified, reached out for help, but before she could even process what was happening, the cross thudded to the ground with a violent force. If this was the spirit of her ex-husband, Scott, it became abundantly clear. Perhaps it was time to let go of him for good. No man who would throw a cross to the ground in anger could be considered truly at peace. Next up, let's talk about a tradition many of you will be familiar with: Elf on the Shelf. It's a harmless, fun gimmick that parents use to keep kids on their best behavior during the holiday season. However, what happens in the next clip might make you rethink what's really going on with those little elves.
So this is Carol, our Christmas elf. Hello, Carol. Hey, tell Santa we've been really good, okay?
Now, for those of us who are older and know the secret, we understand that it's actually the parents who move the elves around the house. This means they aren't supposed to have a life of their own, right? Well, in this particular video, something incredibly strange happens. The elf's eyes begin to move on their own, which should have been impossible. This leads me, and many others, to the chilling conclusion: some sort of spirit might be using the elf as a vessel to regain a humanoid form, and it's using this poor woman as its target. Now, many people out there still refuse to believe in the paranormal, and they're quick to dismiss any evidence presented to them. People like the man in the next clip devote their lives to proving the existence of these entities. But no matter how hard they try, skeptics will always find some logical explanation: fishing wire, a minor earthquake, or simply coincidence. In the next clip, though, the man does an incredible job of convincing us that something truly paranormal is happening. Have a look.
This video is for the people out there who think I'm making fake ghost videos. Here's my hands. I have no strings attached to anything. That right there is a vent to my air conditioner unit for the air to come out. There's nothing attached to that. I don't know why some dude thought I was using that for a hoax. I'm in here, I'm hearing strange noises from my living room. Let's check out what we can conjure up. Let's go on the other side of the phone. Here's my hand, here we go. I'm not gonna stop talking so no one thinks I stopped editing, okay? Now, let's see what I can conjure up. If there's any spirits here, feel free to show yourself. Let yourself be known. Apparently I'm haunted because I bought a fucking doll from an estate sale. Is there anything here? Hello? Anybody want to speak? Is anyone here? Hello? Yeah, you saw that fucking shit, didn't you? Hello? You saw that fucking shit? Yeah, explain that fucking shit. Hello? Explain that fucking shit. Fuck that, I'm out of here.
In this video, 2 pictures on a wall fall down out of nowhere, without any visible cause or any wires to explain the phenomenon. There's no editing, no cuts, and no trickery involved. Just the sudden, unexplainable collapse of these pictures. To me, this is one of the clearest pieces of evidence that poltergeists are real, roaming our world. Of course, there will always be those who claim this is somehow fake, and if you're one of those people, feel free to comment with your reasoning. I'm genuinely open to hearing your theories, but I'm not sure there's any convincing me that this wasn't the work of a ghost. The night shift, by far one of the most dreaded terms for any working person. The night shift brings its own set of challenges, disrupting your sleep schedule, leaving you exhausted the next day, and stripping the job of any enjoyment. That's why so many people loathe working these hours. But after watching the next clip, all the night shift haters out there might find themselves feeling a bit luckier because they haven't had to experience what this poor employee did. Meet Baz, a man working at a storage facility. His job? To manage the late-night dispatches, though they didn't come in very often. But what Baz didn't know was that he wasn't alone in the building that night.
Oye, por esto les digo que a mí no me gusta quedarme en la oficina solo. La neta, qué mala onda, güey, que se fueron, güey. Les pedí que me esperaran. Y ya me habían pasado estas cosas. La neta, no se vale.
En una oficina de México se den cosas paranormales constantemente. Uno de los empleados capta en video los impactantes eventos que ahí ocurren. Vamos a verlos.
Güey, yo por esto les digo que a mí no me gusta quedarme en la oficina solo. La neta, qué mala onda, güey, que se fueron, güey. Les pedí que me esperaran. A mí ya me habían pasado estas cosas. La neta, no se vale. Güey. Ahí va. ¡Ey! Ay, güey. ¡Ey! ¿Quién anda ahí? Le voy a marcar a la policía, ¿eh? Esto es propiedad privada. ¡Ay, güey! ¡Ey! ¡Ey! ¡Tú, ven acá! Yo ya voy a pagar todo y yo ya me voy. La neta no es justo, güey. Ustedes me vuelven a hacer esto y yo les renuncio, güey. Ya vámonos a dormir. Yo no estoy para estos jugueteos. Hasta el vecino tiene que venir. Bueno. Ay, güey. No. Ay, güey, vamos ya.
In the video, you'll see an array of bizarre and spooky occurrences that unfold in rapid succession. Baz is forced to chase after this mischievous spirit for what seems like ages. You might think that dealing with this paranormal activity would be enough stress for one night, but unfortunately, Baz's employer didn't see it that way. He was fired for not completing his work on schedule, with no sympathy for what he had just endured. Harsh, right? In our next video, it's 4 AM, and Sakina is fast asleep. She's a deep sleeper, and usually, her boyfriend has to shake her awake to get her out of bed. But tonight, things are different. At 4 AM, Sakina suddenly hears her dog howling from downstairs, accompanied by an overwhelming feeling of coldness that she's unable to describe. With her boyfriend out of town, she has no choice but to investigate the source of the noise. What she finds, however, is truly unexpected.
Eran las 4 de la mañana y mi perrita no paraba de ladrar cuando salí. Capté esto.
Her dog is barking at seemingly nothing, but as Sakina watches, she notices a shadowy figure in the video. This indicates the presence of something beyond our world. At first, she tries to rationalize it as weird lighting, but things only get worse from there.
Hola gente, otra vez el ruido ese. Poco estoy haciendo compañía hoy, pero ya estoy sola. Todavía se escucha un ruido de abajo y la verdad que no sé. Ay, la con olor hay algo ahí. Sora. Sora, subí. Ay, no, Dios santo. Nera.
Sakina thinks the hands she sees are part of a prank from her boyfriend, but as she approaches, they seem to phase right through the stairs. There's no denying it now. This is a spirit, not a prankster.